DOA at the control room, man, and let's talk about it. Salute. DOA at the control room, man. Also known as Dread Archer Jr. Don't mind me, man. I got allergies, so pardon me if I sneeze or whatever, pardon me. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the channel. I just wanted to share a little story with y'all. I want to say rest in heaven, rest in peace, and the whole nine to POW from the famous Soul Sonic Force, Africa Bambaataa Soul Sonic Force. He had passed away. Don't know what the cause was, but I want to share a little story about POW. Back in the days, during my hip hop days, I was down with a crew called MB, M as in Mary, B as in bastard, MB 2000. It was a beatbox crew with the lights of me, Emanon, and Emanon and Kenny Muhammad. And then Emanon from Harlem, fantastic beatboxer, Kenny Muhammad from Far Rockaway, myself from Astoria, Queens, Ravenswood. We all had different backgrounds, but together, man, we had a beatbox crew. And then Kenny Muhammad, he moved on, did his own thing. He actually got down with Angie Stone, actually. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. And me and Emanon did the Jerry Lewis Telethon out in California. Had a pleasure meeting Jerry Lewis, back in 2000. And we had performed with an actor / tap dancer by the name of Dule Hill. When we got back to New York, we had gotten booked to do a show at the Urban Plaza, and during that time, we was really in the zone, doing shows all over the place and whatnot. And make a long story short, me and Emanon and Afra, can't forget Afra, Japanese artist that was from Japan. At that time, he was a student. He was on a visa in United States at that time. We decided to let him get down with us, and he went off to do great things. But nonetheless, we was outside. We came back from California. We had a show at the Urban Plaza, and we're outside. And as I'm approaching the Urban Plaza, there was all kinds of artists that was trying to get in and whatnot. And one of them was POW. And as I'm walking in, POW's walking in with me. And the security at the door was like kind of waving him off, like trying to stop him from getting in. Security was like, yo, I don't know who this dude is. He knew who I was only because I was scheduled to be, on the show. And during that time, that night, they were filming the show. And it happened to be a documentary that came out called Scratch, about legendary DJs at the time, hosted by DJ Red Alert. And we was able to make that documentary, me, Emanon, and Afra. So as we walking in, the security or bouncer, whatever you want to call him, was blocking POW from getting inside because he didn't know him. And that really got me upset, because that was my first interactions with POW as far as on a one-on-one basis, because I had met him previously at other events and whatnot. Because at that time, my manager at the time was a young lady named Christy Z, Tools of War. And, phenomenal Chrissy, phenomenal woman. She was married to Fable from Rocksteady at the time. And so I was able to meet a lot of the pioneers at that time, with the Cold Crush Brothers and whatnot. Special K I met, she introduced me to. So he wouldn't let POW in, and that really got me upset, because, I'm just going to assume it was POW's appearance and whatnot. POW was going through a lot at that time. And that really got me upset. And I said to the bouncer, like, look, do you know who this man is? This is a legendary artist, man. He's the reason why you got a job. You know what I'm saying? I said, this is POW from the Soul Sonic Force. And he was like, yo, I didn't know. I said, I understand that. I said, but you have to be careful how you treat people. The man is here for a reason. He's not a man off the street trying to get inside of a club. You seen him walking in the same time I'm walking in, and the way I just felt the way he treated him was just disrespectful. So he let him in. Me and Pow Wow was hanging out all night. You know what I mean? Can't forget Jazzy J. Jazzy J was actually hosting that event. And me and Pow Wow was in the backstage hanging out, chopping it up. And what shocked me about Pow Wow, he was such a cool dude. He was like, yo, man, and when I got on stage, I was a little arrogant that night because I was upset about something that happened. And I got on stage, and when the show was over, I dropped the mic on the floor and walked off. I'll never forget that. I was on my bullshit. But nonetheless, Pow Wow was like, look, can I get your autograph? And I was like, no. Why would you want my autograph, bro? I want your autograph. Your Pow Wow. But the reason I'm sharing this story is because that was my interactions with him, hanging out with him. He was such a humble guy. And to be a pioneer in the level and stature that he was at, to ask for my autograph, I was like, wow. So he was the real deal. And out of all the people in that song, Planet Rock, Pow Wow to me stood out the most. You know what I'm saying? Out of that song. There was also a gentleman from Queensbridge named Butter that was down with Suicidal Force, but that's another conversation. But I wanted to share the story because, you know, I got a chance to hang out with a legend, and he was such a cool dude. Despite whatever he was going through at that time, he was extremely humble. He opened up a lot of doors. You know. Come on, man, Grandmaster Flash, the Furious 5, and you know, it just bothers me to see a lot of our pioneers go out the way they do, and nobody really acknowledges them until they pass away. And I just want to say salute to Pow Wow. May he rest in peace, rest in heaven. Condolences to him and his family. I'm not sure if he has any children and whatnot, but if he does, my condolences to everyone in his family. And he was such a good dude who was hanging out, laughing the whole nine. He was really enjoying himself. I believe at that time he had health issues. Some may say he was on drugs. I don't know. But let's just try to keep the respect about Pow Wow. These are one of the pioneers, man, that opened up a lot of doors. He's part of that movement for a lot of hip-hop artists right now as we speak on. That's currently making money. You know what I'm saying? That song, Planet Rock, man, that song is always going to be a classic. I play it once in a blue. But I just wanted to say, rest in peace to Pow Wow. And I had a pleasure meeting the king, and may he rest in power, man. And you know, so from time to time, you know, my homie from Get Your Bars Media was telling me I need to start sharing some stories on my past and present, on things that I experienced. I was blessed to tour the world and got a chance to perform with a lot of people. I am a comedian, I am a beatboxer, and I'm back on stage getting my comedy on. So I'm so blessed and happy to be back on stage again. You know what I mean? But rest in peace to Pow Wow. And he was also in this movie famous hip hop movie called Beat Street. You know what I'm saying? You know, so rest in peace to Pow Wow, man. You're always gonna live on in my eyes, bro. I want to say salute to all the pioneers out there that's putting a lot of work. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing too. So I want to say salute to Pow Wow. Rest in heaven, my guy. Salute.